Doing the Ala Kul trek in Kyrgyzstan kind of brought about one of my childhood dreams, because I've always dreamt of trekking in Central Asia, and the Ala Kul trek kind of summed up the best of what Central Asia trekking could be. It was a deliberately chosen trek because we had researched a lot of treks in Central Asia and then decided that this is the trek which will give us the best of what Central Asia trekking is all about. And it truly was. What an amalgamation of sceneries that we get to see on this trek. You have these grasslands, you have this beautiful alpine lake, you have this unique culture on either side of the trek of people staying in these yurt huts, and you have these wonderful people that you get to meet all along the trek, from not only people from Kyrgyzstan but from across the trekkers from across the world that you get to see on this trek. Because it is called the Ala Kul trek, central focus is the lake. And this was a lake which I really loved going to, because you have to do a little bit of difficult climb to get to the lake. You are going to climb over this scree section, which is where you take almost 2 steps up and 1 step down, but you eventually make your way to the lake. And as you cross over that pass, and suddenly you have this aquamarine, that green lake all around you with beautiful snow-capped mountains, with the glacier feeding this lake, and you wonder, oh my goodness, where have I come? And then you realize that you are going to be actually camping besides the shores of the lake, and that's a wonderful experience of just camping there. And not only that, even this forest and the way it was laid out, the forest, the streams, the rivers as it was laid out on the trek was so different from anything that I have seen in India or anywhere else that I have trekked in this world, that it absolutely delighted me doing this Ala Kul trek in Kyrgyzstan. So it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. But trekking and doing this Ala Kul trek in Kyrgyzstan has other benefits. And the benefit is actually being in Kyrgyzstan. Central Asia is such a wonderful place because, in my mind, Central Asia was always that poverty-stricken, that very, isolated from Russia and nothing goes there kind of a country in my mind. But when we landed in Bishkek, we realized that it is actually a very modern city surrounded by beautiful mountainscape with snow-packed peaks all around the city, and a modern city with big wide roads, trams going here and there, and wonderful culture of Russia, China and Asian cultures coming together, and it shows in the warmth, in the food of the people, and in the way how people even interact with you. Personally, I loved going to the bazaars because these were the bazaars I've read in storybooks, and I've always wanted to go to Central Asian bazaars, and it didn't disappoint me because you got the best of dry foods, the best of fruits, and the best of nicks and knacks which you can just imagine, and they're huge bazaars. And I made personally 3-4 trips just to the bazaars to get so much out of it. But there's lots to see in Kyrgyzstan. The drive from Bishkek to Karakol is again something which took me by surprise, because I got to see a landscape, the Central Asian landscape, which I never imagined would be like how the drive was. The flats that we got to see surrounded by mountains on either side, the mountains through which you pass through, and then finally landing beside the Issyk-Kul Lake. And what a big, vast lake. It's the second largest lake in the world. And I was surprised because we spent almost 3 hours going around the lake. And on this trek, we went on one side of this lake and then we came back on the other side. So we actually got to see the entire lake. And because we were traveling in Kyrgyzstan, we made it a point to even stay at a nice holiday home besides the lake. which was a beautiful, beautiful experience with apricot trees and oranges and all, and blueberries and blackberries growing all around the orchards around us. So it was such a fantastic experience of staying in Kyrgyzstan, trekking in Kyrgyzstan. And I want to tell you, as an Indian, it suited my budget because it was extremely budget friendly. It was just slightly more than what it would be in trekking in India. And that made me absolutely very happy, because from food to stay to traveling was something which was very, very budget friendly, and getting to do such a fantastic trek, it has stayed with me. And I feel anyone who is a serious trekker must do a trek in this Ala Kul trek in Kyrgyzstan.